censorship. And if I'm not censored, then I should have like people other than stupid, fake troll accounts coming in and saying stupid things. I should have intelligent people coming in here to tell me what I'm wrong about. At least a couple, at the very least, there's a couple of people that are actually intelligent that would come in and say something if there's nothing going on. But it's absolutely time for revolution, guys. Before it's too late, before, the U.S. is the next Palestine. Because that's what's happening. Whether you understand that or not, whether you've figured it out or not, that doesn't really matter. What's happening is the Israelis are making their moves, and they have been for a while. If you've been paying attention, then you've seen it. Project 2025, that's what Israel did with Netanyahu, and then they put on that masquerade, that bullshit for all of 2023 when they pretended, they were doing the judicial overhaul is what they called it. But it was the same thing. And if you look at what Israel did and then what they did on October 7th, 2023, the false flag, that's pretty scary. What's the equivalent here? It's time for us to band together. Like the election to me is just is bullshit. It's such utter nonsense, and it's just the system. It's like if they want you to believe the car is this bulldozer like real, can pull anything kind of car, then they put a hood ornament on it that is like a bulldog or something. And if they want you to believe that the car is a fast car, then the hood ornament is like a Roadrunner or some shit. I'm being as fucking literal and stupid as literal, not literal, whatever you want to say. But you get the point. Like, the president doesn't do anything. The president is the mouthpiece for the system. They're a figurehead. They literally, like, they don't even decide what they wear. They don't decide where they go. They don't decide what they say. Boston Celtics tonight. Golden State. Well, the Celtics are probably going to win. They seem pretty dominant. But it's all this is happening right as basketball is getting going. Got to get the good distraction, This is the distraction time. We're all going to be in our houses. We're going to be, stressed out with the holidays. It's this is the time for them to really, like it's terrifying to think COVID's probably going to come. Like all the Trumpers love to forget that Trump is who locked us all down. Trump is who gave us COVID to begin with, the COVID narrative to begin with, the bullshit narrative that it was. Like, they've already used this figurehead on us. But do people really think, like, this is the part that's the trumpets never answer this. Do you really think like Trump sits at his desk and he has like an adding machine next to him, and he has a bunch of papers in front of him, all these different budget figures and all these different, and he's adding things up, and do you really think that's what, like, Trump tries to figure out the budget that way? Do you really think Trump has anything to do with foreign policy? Like, he's given all these different foreign policy notes and he reads through them and he decides on which things are going to go this way and which things are going to go that way. Do you really think that the president of the United States does anything like that? He gave us COVID. Yes, the Trump presidency gave us COVID. Like, you believe the Biden presidency made the grocery prices go up? If you believe, if you're one of those dumbasses that blame Biden for every stupid thing, you're one of those dumbasses that think it was Trump, because of Trump, the gas prices went down. Never mind that they went back up under Trump, but they went down under Trump. That you like, you think Trump did that stuff. It's like how Christians and religious people, they always, when they win stuff, they're always like, oh, all glory be to God. Without God, no, like it's stupid. You did it, but you're going to give the credit to God. It's that same, that same dumb mentality is put on us left and right. Here we go. I can hear the sound of Jen and cry, baby, cry. God, y'all are so afraid of Trump. We can't kill our babies anymore. They're going to close the border. Okay, so the idea that the whole thing with abortion, like, what a horrible what a horrible thing. The way that dumb white men especially pretend like abortion is just this thing that people do because it's fun. Oops, I made a little mistake and blah, blah, blah. Anybody that complains about abortion, you better have at least one adopted child at your house. If you don't have at least one adopted child at your house, you really have nothing to say. If you think creating children to go through CPS is a good thing, like the whole, it's just amazing how people don't understand. 86% of the children that go missing are affiliated with CPS. These numbers are staggering. What you end up finding out about our government and shit, like it's staggering how scary all of that is. And to think that the Trump presidency is going to create more of it. Women that get raped by their fathers, by anybody. Like, to me, honestly, if you don't want your baby, you shouldn't have your baby. As a parent, and knowing how difficult being a parent is, knowing how much that takes of somebody, knowing how much, to be able to give them everything you want to give them. Like, being a parent, a good parent, it is a lot. And every child should have a good parent. And if you don't think you can do that, you shouldn't have to. And it's just more of this assault on women. It's not like men are going to be held responsible. Even the notion of like, oh, well, you got, if you get 3 different chicks pregnant and then there's an abortion and blah, 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 then you get sterilized. How could they ever prove that you got that chick pregnant? Then we're getting into some really weird shit. You trans, man. That's the best you can come up with. First, why don't you cry about it? Seriously. Is that not something that you would hear on like the elementary school playground? Why don't you cry about it? You're saying words and stuff that I can't debunk or I can't override, so why don't you cry about it? Huh? Like, this is literally the mentality of the average Trump supporter, and that's really scary. Here we go, more mental illness. Yep, mental illness because I ask questions you don't. No, we do not. You need to get a job. It's yep. God, like Biden, when Biden was kicking the shit out of Trump in every respect, except for the fact that he got stumbled a couple of times. That's what matters. Yes, I think he has a lot to do with foreign policy. I think he can reduce gas prices. I think he can reduce groceries, dude, and he will close the border. Again, this whole idea of you racist white people and you're closing the border. You're only talking about the southern border, right? Because you're okay with the northern border being open. They never ever talk about this. Why is it the southern border? Because the Mexicans are so bad? Man, I hope you want to pay fucking $8 for fucking, or $18 for a fucking salad and shit. $25 for a thing of strawberries. The grocery prices are going to go down though. And so when you say these things and you say, I think he does, how? What do you think he does? What do you think the president does to make the grocery prices go up or down? And the thing is, when it doesn't happen, because when Trump took over, the grocery prices went up. Everything got significantly more expensive when Trump first took over. But you don't like that part. You don't want to talk about that part. So how long does it take before the grocery prices don't go? What's an acceptable level of drop? With all the talk, I think they should be at least halved. If grocery prices aren't cut in half, then somebody lied. But it's like again, stupidity comes in and they say things and they go, well, I think Trump does do that. I think, right. So Biden was sitting around going, okay, how much is broccoli? Raise it by 39 cents. Okay, how much is toilet paper? Oh, that's got to go up by $1.25. Next, soup. And they went through the whole list, and Biden was just writing down new price tags for everything. Biden and Harris. The whole idea of like Mexicans are coming across the border and committing all these crimes, it's just so fucking nuts. It's so nuts. The biggest drug problem is fentanyl, and fentanyl doesn't come in from the south. Fentanyl comes in from the north more often than not. Fentanyl comes from the Chinese and whatnot. It comes through the shipping ports. But that's not a talk. We don't talk about that. It's like all this kind of shit is just so interesting how stupid these people are. You on PCP, yep. This guy can't come up with anything else. The one thing you have to understand when you're watching this feed and you see the comments, you hear what I'm saying, whatever. Understand, these people are like when I said it's 3 times in a row. If I stumble, these people are going to jump on it and be like, oh, look, you stumbled. So if they can find something they can attach themselves to, they absolutely will. So with all of the shit I'm saying, you would think if I'm wrong, they would just be jumping all over this or jumping all over that. But they don't. They keep arguing their own narrative. They keep making up their own thing. And that's all you'll ever see with this kind of shit. Not one comment is about actual shit. It's all these dumb, you need God. Yup, I need God. Sure do. I need God like all those children getting raped by clergy all the time, don't I? Because, the one place where we know pedophiles absolutely exist and are very prolific is in the church, in God's house. But hey, that's okay. Yes, liberal man, I sure do. I love when people call people things like liberals. So, are you saying you're not for liberties? You don't want people to have liberties? Don't liberals want liberties for people? Isn't that what liberal is isn't that what that's about? Like this whole idea that so many of these little dick white dudes think that they should be able to control other people. They should be able to tell other people who they can love. They should be able to tell people how they should run their lives, what their religion should be, you know, if they should have babies or not. You know, they think that their opinion matters. Never mind if your opinion should matter. No, your opinion shouldn't affect their lives, but their opinion should absolutely affect your life. And if something you do affects their life and they don't like it, then you should stop it. You shouldn't be allowed to do it. Their opinion overrides yours every time. It's fucking crazy. How is he on PCP? Because that's the best they can come up with. 2 weeks after Biden came into, official gas prices skyrocket. You tell me. 2 weeks at, like, first of all, I'd have to see any sort of proof of that. I definitely wouldn't believe anything stupid you say. I know that gas prices were already on the rise by the time Biden took over. They had already started to go up. The whole thing with the gas prices being dropped as low as they were, and gas is costing negative $30 a barrel, which doesn't even make sense, is because they had to give the Trump supporters something. Something. You guys literally had nothing else. So they gave you guys something so that, you know, the further away you get from it, the more you believe the myth. Oh, with Trump, the gas prices fell. You think that all of that shit, Trump came into it and the gas prices started to go down. Why? Because of the work that the previous administration did. Previous administration set up all the shit. You always see that. The administration that comes in either benefits or pays for the previous administration. So like if you that whole claim that Trump used to make doesn't really make it anymore because it got exposed. That the Trump people, they brought all these jobs back to the United States. They didn't. The Obama administration did that. Like 2 years in, it was the Trump administration, when they were still making those claims, they had only brought in one official company had gotten brought back. And that's what? They were given incentives? I don't know. I don't know how they were brought back. But it's just a dumb narrative. You know, it's always the dumb narrative. So you have these, it seems to be like the Republicans are the shit, and then the Democrats come in and do like the cleanup and sort of soften things and make people like, oh, okay, you know what? We can sort of trust the government again. And then they elect another fucking, or they select another Republican, and they come in and they just fuck things all up. And then the Democrats come in and sweep it back under the rug. It's really crazy. Like, not a single person, I didn't hear a single fucking person talking about Mexicans, you know, being bad, doing this. You know, nobody in the feed, nobody in the comments talked about all the crime the Mexicans were doing. None of it until the Trump campaign started and he started saying that shit. Then suddenly the borders we're like, we literally jumped back to 2015. And it's because Trump's stupid, because Trump isn't able to navigate things well and adapt well, because he doesn't read. I say he's stupid in a literal sense. Like, he is a stupid person. According to all of the people that work with him and talk about it afterwards, he's an idiot. And you see that, and every time he speaks, he just he just says fucking nonsense. And so, like, you know, he's coming in and like with the Obama thing, all the gas prices, the pipelines, and all that wasn't done under Trump's watch. All of a sudden now we have this surplus of oil and this. That was done way beforehand. And please don't think that like Obama is a good guy. Don't think that's what I think. Don't be stupid here. Understand that the way that it's like, again, it's like such a weird Christian thing. The way Christians feel about every other religion is how I feel about every other religion and Christianity. The way that Trump supporters feel about every other politician is how I feel about Trump supporters or about Trump and every other politician. It's so weird how they fall for. You can't wait for this comeback, huh? Look how stupid this is. You remember that, right? He doesn't even seem like he's on PCP, right? But this is all they can do. Trans boy, yep, that's all you got. He's just coping about Trump. I'm coping. It's not like it. If Kamala won, we then have a Jewish vice president and a Jewish first gentleman. That's not better than Trump. Like, this is the part that is so strange to me. All of these trumpets, these Trumpansies, I have to support Kamala for them to have an argument. As soon as we get past that shit, they run away. They have nothing else to say. Why are you scared of Trump? I'm not scared of Trump. Like, the stupid things that these guys said. I'm not scared of Trump. It's the Trumpansies. It's the stupid people that support Trump that are scary. It's the mentality that comes with it. It's the idea that before any of this happened, when you ask people, why do you support Trump? They can't tell you. They just say stupid shit. The fact people are falling for pick a hand, which hand's going to slap you, left or right, and they're falling for it when they normally do nothing but talk shit is strange to me. I was getting gas for $1.50 a gallon when Trump was in office. Biden got in office like 5 months later. I was paying and currently paying like $5 a gallon now. Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. That's what happened. This is what I mean. This is what Trump supporters do. They just say dumb shit. So the gas prices during Trump, they did go down. And for a couple of months, they were pretty low. But it just went back up. By the time that the presidency changed hands, it was already on its way back up. But that's all you have. That's nothing. And you think that's going to happen again? I can't wait to see it. I hope to God you guys are right. Man, I hope like hell suddenly Trump's going to get in office and the oil companies are going to take huge profit cuts. Can't wait. Now he's going to bash us Christians. Let's go. I'm ready. You're not ready. You have nothing. Christianity is as dumb as it gets. You're literally a Jewish pawn and you're okay with it. You believe a different religion, a religion that looks down on you, is your God's chosen favorite people. Like, how dumb is that? Abortion isn't a good thing, dude. Well, it's not a good thing, and I don't think anybody thinks it's a good thing. This is where, again, like, delusion just takes place. People getting abortions aren't like it's not like, oh shit, it's time for my bi-weekly abortion. Got to go out and get pregnant so I can run in and pay $400 to be in tons of pain and blah, blah, blah. Probably more than $400 by now. But it's such a stupid argument. And again, anybody that thinks that way, you need to have adopted kids. Your lack of understanding of how bad the CPS system is and how the adoption system and all that shit, your lack of understanding is really sad and scary. Time to close them borders and round up them illegal immigrants, right? Gotta love American racism. Gotta love, because I guarantee your family was an illegal immigrant. But hey, that's okay. Never mind the Native Americans and what they think. We're talking about what dumb white people think. There's something called adoption centers. Yeah, right, right. And how many of those do you frequent? How often are you there helping the adoption center, donating money, cleaning it, supporting it, passing out literature, trying to help people, doing screenings? How often do you help those adoption centers that you champion? Glory be to God. Okay, so the guy that is gonna come at me with the Jesus stuff, right? This is what he's gonna say, right? Glory be to God, the Most High, the only way to the Father, and I pray you repent for what you are spewing right now. Yeah, if you honestly believe in prayer in any way, pray that the clergy stops raping children. We'll worry about the rest of the world and the pedophile problem once we deal with it in the church. More of these facts that you guys just don't like. Let's see how you respond to that, if you do, which you won't. Some kids end up being the next Albert Einstein. No, they don't. No, they really don't. And Albert Einstein was a fucking Jew fraud, so I don't know what you're talking about. Albert Einstein is just a fucking fake nonsense, bullshit. And all that narrative from back then sucks. You tell me who today, comes from a CPS adoption center and they're a really prominent this or that. And to think like, yeah, maybe you are going to get the occasional genius that comes out of there. Is that worth all of the human trafficking and pedophilia that takes place? No. Not even close. But these are like the cold hard facts that you guys don't seem to like. I give all credit to God. I'm sorry that you don't have God in your heart and Satan control. So somehow God allows Satan to control my life. Now, if Satan controls my life and has me go kill Christians, isn't God not doing a very good job? What about all the Christians out there that need to be protected from someone like me? Yep, Satan. If you believe, like, what's worse than having an imaginary friend? Having imaginary enemies. Come on now. Dud, the stutter is staring. Do you want me to call you a Wenlance? Use your words in your when it's by their father. Otherwise, it's not the baby's fault, dude. Oh, well, if they would keep their legs closed, Morlock would be mad because he wouldn't have a sacrifice of babies all the time. Yep, if they would just keep their legs closed, it's those women's fault, especially when they get raped. Oh, God, people are stupid. You were a baby at one point. Yep, must have some empathy. Yeah, I do. I know what it's like to be a child and grow up poor and, grow up in a situation where the whole parenting situation was cantankerous. It was a bad situation, and I know if given the opportunity, my mom wouldn't have had the child when she did, which made her life harder, which made a whole bunch of yeah, that's what happens. But it also wasn't like a nightmare situation. My mom had a ton of help. It wasn't even close to how bad it is for so many people out there. See, this is like average white guy isn't going to have compassion for anybody. See, it's crazy how like they, oh, you want me to call you the ambulance? The average white Christian cries the most when somebody doesn't think like they do. And the thing is, they can never back why they think the way they do. They don't have any sort of intelligent reasons. They don't even have the ability to talk about why they think the way they do. They just do, and they cry the loudest. Like if you see a sign in somebody's yard that says protect religious freedoms, it's a Christian. They're not talking about protect the freedoms of Muslims, or especially protect the freedoms of those who don't believe in any sort of goofy sky daddy bullshit. But the thing is, most of you Christians, you don't even know what you believe. You definitely don't know why you believe it. You the lack of understanding of what the Bible is and where it comes from and all that, it's astonishing. Answer me this. Do you have any immigrants living at your house? Because if you don't, I don't want to hear your BS about not closing the borders because I don't have immigrants living in my house. That makes sense to you? That's the same thing as bringing lives into this world. I just, like, I appreciate your stupidity because it makes my job easier, but how can you be that stupid? Remember when they were saying in 2015, do you lock your doors at night? Because if you don't think we should build a wall, then you shouldn't lock your doors at night. It's the same thing. Like, I'm scared of white people more than I am anyone else. The white people are the ones that do the majority of the crimes where I live. I don't know about y'all, but it's not the black. Like, when I look at who has done the most wrong to me in my life, personally, it's white people. On a larger scale, it's white Jewish people, the ones that have the pens. But as far as who has done the most harm, who, when it comes to, the women I know who have been assaulted and all, just the worst things I've ever, it's always white people. The serial killers, the mass rapists, those are always white people, and they're usually Christians. It's just, it's amazing how stupid these people are. Trump is literally going to help you get the food chain, dude. Yep, Trump's going to help me get up the food chain. And Trump would benefit. Yep, sure he would. I forgot what a millionaire I am. All those tax breaks I'm going to get. See, this is where it's just stupid. You think Trump is somehow different than all of the other presidents before him. Other than like Reagan or anybody else, I guess you fall for. But, like, it's just so stupid. Trump didn't do all those things when he was president the first time. He didn't do the gas. Trump wasn't like, all right, gas companies, you have to lower your gas prices. Like, that's not how that works. And people are just so stupid. I don't know what else to say. Like, it's crazy. Food prices went way up when Trump took over. Gas prices went up. They went up and then they went down. But, like, what the system does periodically is they raise the prices up to like $5. Everybody flips out. And then they lower it down to like $3.50 and everybody's happy. Instead of asking, when I first started driving, the lowest I paid was like 88 cents a gallon. And I remember, I didn't watch the news as a kid or anything, but I remember them, like the standard sort of narrative was that oil was $100 a barrel. And as long as oil is $100 a barrel, gas prices are, basically regulated. And I know that during Trump, when the gas prices dropped to their lowest, they were claiming that gas was negative $30 a barrel, which I didn't, like, how is that even, that's how stupid you are. Because you go, okay, it's negative $30 a barrel. Here, I'm going to go get me as many barrels as I can put together. Where can I go get that? Plus, you'll give me $30. But that's not how that works. And so you fall for these narratives, and they while they want to distract you, while Trump is it's like when Kobe died. And so the news on Sunday and Monday was all about Kobe's death. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And then on Wednesday was when one of the impeachments was said to end. So Wednesday's news was already covered. Mondays and Tuesdays, was set for Kobe. What wasn't covered, the only reason I know about it is because back then I used to watch the 700 Club for a laugh every day, just because I knew they would talk about things that weren't talked about, was Trump signing the convenient legislation that said all college campuses and universities need to have a pro-Israel stance and a pro-Israel curriculum. And they need to actively remove any BDS or anti-Israel stuff at the risk of losing federal funding. And while everybody's distracted by Kobe and everybody's distracted by the news isn't even covering this press conference Trump is doing. Netanyahu's there. It's like this big fucking deal, but nobody's talking about it because you're not supposed to know about that shit. Can you cry me? So you notice how every time these dumbasses get sort of locked in a situation where what they say gets thrown back at them, they just start doing the playground thing again. Are you gonna cry? You cry about? Yep, I am crying. You're not the one having babies. Yeah? Oh, you're a Jew. Gross. Ew, 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 ew. That's gross. You're a disgusting, horrible person. You actually procreated. You know what? I am praying very hard for your children right now. No, pray for the children that the church keeps raping, you dumbass. Why don't you pray for those children? Being a good parent is pulling your child out of school because of a critical race theory or having a drag queen do story hour. That, my friend, is being a good parent. Right. Teaching your kids to react like a psychopath because somebody's reading them a book. Like, do you know how stupid you sound? Why would teaching kids that drag queens aren't going to harm them and that, they're just normal people. Here, look, they can read a book. Why would that harm a child? Why would that harm a child any more than a clergyman raping them? Or you telling them that they should believe in this system, that if they don't believe in it, they will burn in hell for all of eternity. Imagine what kind of psychological damage that does to a child. You have to believe this nonsense that makes no sense, that you don't, you're asking questions about, because all children ask questions. And if you don't, you're going to burn in hell for all of eternity. Yeah. See, it's funny because dumb guys like this, you never see them like, hey, how come we're not out there stopping Pee-wee football? If you're really all about protecting the kids, how come you don't want to stop Pee-wee football and the brain damage that shit causes? How come you're not out there condemning little girl beauty pageants? You a big fan of little girl beauty pageants? Is that why you don't talk bad about them? It's just, it's like, again, the church is the thing that is constantly in the news for violating children. And yet all of these people are so accepting of it. He swears by God and the blah, 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 blah. Your shit, the thing that you support, that you identify with, that you essentially are an accomplice of because you give your money to and you support it. Yours is the thing that's constantly raping children. Why is that okay? This dude is so aggravated, his ass pacing in 10 by 10 room. Yep. He's so triggered. Now we're desperately running the PTSD shit. What are you so bothered over? I'm an Israeli Jew American. We provide a lot to America and the world. No, you don't. You don't provide shit. The only stuff that you provide is like sketch technology, like Pegasus software that allows Israel into the back door into everything they sell it to, or disgusting vaccine stuff. Israel doesn't do shit but take. Israel is the worst, and the Jews are the worst people in the world by far. By far. Especially Israeli Jews. They are committing genocide right now. Their sense of entitlement is so far beyond anything else. This idea of being chosen and, you know, it's all just insane. And again, they don't bring anything to the world. You know, the Jews are the worst. They're the leeches, the lawyers, you know. The Jews that control Hollywood and the pedophile Hollywood like Dan Schneider and, you know, Weinstein and all these fucking pieces of shit. Yep. Fentanyl is coming from the Air Force bases. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of it is. You're literally describing blah blah blah. That's what it sounds like. Yep. Wow, that's a great argument there, Patrick. Way to debunk what I'm saying. Of course, Levi's a dumb Jew too. So you've ignored all 5 of my comments. I only saw 2 of your comments, the 2 I've read. They said you need God. They didn't say you needed to go to church. Yeah, because again, you're smart enough to see that the church is wrong, God's house, but not the concept that's just stupid. It's just a dumb Jew concept to keep you in control. You don't know the history of God. That's the thing. All of you people that act so arrogantly in that regard, you don't know why you believe that. You don't know the history of that shit. You're just some dumb white guy who believes what he's told. And 99 fooled you. That's a man's. That man's a Jewish Muslim. Yeah. How the dude is in the woke bubble. No, I never say. You never hear me claim I'm woke. Not stupid. Jesus loves you. I just want you to know that repent and admit and confess. Blah, blah, blah. That shit is so dumb. What arrogant nonsense. Again, Jesus, can you just stop the church from raping children? I can make it on my own just fine. I don't need any love from Jesus or anything like that. I'm good. I think God is a pedophile. If God's not a pedophile, he's a pedophile fan. It's a pedophile fan. Jesus never existed. God is fake. Like, I don't know how much more blasphemous I can be without being struck down, but it's all bullshit, and you're stupid. I'm sorry, but this is delusional. Now the Jew gets mad and starts calling me delusional. How can you support Palestine without looking at the facts, dude? Facts that you're not gonna give, right? I know the facts. I know that World War I was about establishing Israel, putting the British in charge of Palestine to make the Palestinians completely reliant on the Brits. So when they did World War II and they gave the bullshit Holocaust excuse, the fake fucking bullshit excuse, because the Holocaust is a lie. And now they have their reason. First, they put the British in charge. Now they have the reason, because for some reason, what happens in Germany means the Palestinians now have to be kicked out. But when the British pull out, now the Palestinians don't have a government. They don't have a military. They don't have any means of defending themselves. And somehow the Israeli military exists when there's no Israel, but the Israeli military somehow exists, which just consists of Americans and other allies. And they come in and they just slaughter them. They slaughter these helpless people in 1948. The Nakba, May 15th, 1948. And they just slaughtered them because they're just disgusting, disgusting, horrible people. And then in 67, there's another slaughter. Just an absolute slaughter where you have a first world country that has all first world technology and has the Americans and the allies behind them slaughtering people with fucking rocks and sticks and shit. And then it's just been a continuous slaughter ever since. And 2023 was set to be the deadliest year in decades for the Palestinians because the Israelis by October 7th had already killed 242 or 247, can't remember, Palestinians, you know, mostly, well, all of which are civilians. Just because they're called a militant because they fight back doesn't mean they're a militant. They call them militants because there's no military. They can't say that they were a Palestinian Marine or because they don't have anything like that. So again, anytime somebody decides to fight back, they become a militant. And because we Americans, dumb fucking Jew slave Americans, have been programmed with that term, militant Muslim, we think that it's all just militant Muslims over there. It's crazy because if Americans knew how many Christians were being killed, they might have more sympathy. But the Israelis completely lied. There were no Israelis killed on October 7th, 2023. Just like there were no Israelis taken hostage on October 7th, 2023. It's all bullshit. That's all they do is lie. The Jews just lie and lie. They literally, they control the narrative. They control the media, so they just use it to lie. Yeah, definitely not half Jewish. That's gross. He was smoking something a while ago. I think it was meth or crack cocaine. So let's just say that was true, right? If I'm smoking meth or crack, how come you can't beat me? How come you still sound stupid? You're losing an argument to somebody smoking meth and crack? Boy, you must be bad at this. That's just disappointing. See, it's funny because this person talked about ignoring the facts and yet hasn't said a single fact yet. Got me dizzy, putting words together, but not making any sense. Why you moving so much? Talking on something. You know that Charlie Brown is listening to his teacher and adult. Yep. So if that's what it is, why would you sit here for hours on end, day after day? Like, it's just the stupidity in what you say. You must be Israeli. The Israelis are stupid. They're the ones that are stupid enough to say that if the UN opens the books on Israel and looks at what they've been doing, that demonizes Israel. Well, if what they were doing was okay, then they wouldn't have to worry about anybody looking at them. If looking into your history demonizes you, then you must be pretty fucking bad. I know I'm not worried about anybody looking into my history. I know I've had a group of people doing that for a long time trying to catch me up on something, and they haven't found anything. I'm proud of who I am. I'm absolutely proud of my anti-Semitism because I know what words mean. You call me anti-Semitic, I'm going to get mad. You know, that's not nice. I fully support the Palestinians, the Iraqis, the Iranians, you know, the black people, the you know, the Egyptians and all those other areas of the world that are considered Semitic people. That's a racist term, anti-Semitic. Anti-Semitism simply means anti-supremacy because you have to know what Semitism means. And Semitism means a predisposition or belief in showing Jews favor. Nobody deserves favor, but that's what Semitism is. Supremacy. It's just worded cleverly. In showing Jews favor, the belief or predisposition to show Jews favor. Oh, okay. Why would I show anyone favor? It's supremacy, and their version of favor is you don't say anything. You don't talk about the fact that they've killed over 43,000 people in the last year. Innocent, mostly women and children. They've been dropping bombs on them because they're too cowardly. And then they go into their houses afterwards and they find their women's underwear and they put them on these Israeli soldiers. Look it up. There are countless pictures of Israeli soldiers holding up women's underwear, putting women's underwear over their clothes and taking pictures. Like, these are some fucking weirdos. Like, for chill. Oh, is that what's FR? Chill, my guy, relax. Pop you a squat and accept it. Bahama or bah, oh, bah ha ha ha. Because you laugh with a B. I know when I laugh with a B. Bah ha 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 ha. That's funny. And when they groom their kids to it like it's a normal thing, don't know what you're talking about. You must be talking about the Israelis and how, like, especially the Hasidic Jews, the Hasidic Jews, who are constantly constantly getting accused of pedophile shit. Must be talking about them. Man, you drink like a whole container of Kool-Aid. Again, notice how nobody is actually addressing any of the points being made. Biden was in office for 4 years, and he is not the reason for. But Trump was. Why didn't he change any of it and make it better? Because everything got worse. What did Biden do that was so great? Like a lot of things sort of leveled out, and there was a lot of damage to be accounted for. The Trump presidency did a lot of damage, but the Biden presidency is just to show you, dumbass. The presidency is not a fucking real thing. It's like, I don't understand. Like, why can't you guys hear that? I'm not a Biden, Harris, Kamala. I'm not a. I don't fall for either side. I know you fall for one side, but I don't. Why can't you understand that? No, man, I think you're very, very wrong. Well, that must mean I am, because again, you say nothing. This fella is sad, not to mention the companies he had say here and kept them from moving overseas, but that's another story. Yeah, now it's the companies he kept here. What about all the ones that he shut down by closing the doors because of COVID? What about all the small businesses that got killed because of COVID and the Trump regulations to shut things down? You don't like that part. This guy is rage baiting. I'm almost 90% positive. Yep. If hearing the truth makes you mad, then you're probably falling for it. You're probably guilty of it. Like, I can only rage bait you if you're dumb enough to be baited, I guess. But the average person, it's like when people say, oh, my feelings got hurt. You hurt my feelings. Well, don't give me that power. Like, are you serious? You let people hurt your feelings? I think we need to collect. Oh God, here we go again. So this bot, this idiot can't help but just so he says a few things, and then he does one of these. I think we should pray, blah 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 messages, and then he'll go back to doing a few. It's weird how stupid this is. Jesus Christ isn't real. Oh, the Jew's calling you out. Are you going to get mad at the Jew for calling you out? He's letting you know the truth. Christianity is an offshoot of Judaism, Second Temple Judaism, at least according to the narrative they give you. It's all bullshit. But see, this is what I mean. Most of you you don't know shit about why you believe what you believe. You have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Oh, right, we've got that other Jew. So we've got this other Jew who is going to literally say nothing but stupid shit. Nobody's going to actually address what I'm saying. Mythology isn't going to make this guy stop. Why would Jew nonsense be true when Hebrew is the newest language in the world, created by Eliezer ben Yehuda about 100 years ago? But your shit's real. Your shit's real, but the Christian shit isn't. Come on, dumbass. Oh, man, I gotta go back to work because I have a job. Yep, sure. What did anti-Semitic? Got it. Yep, seem really anti-Semitic. Yep. Dumb Jews don't even know the right word. These are Jews and they don't know the right word. It's proud of my anti-Semitism. Let's get it right. I know you Jews like to think you own everything, but you don't own the term Semitic. That belongs to a lot of people. Semitism, that one's on you. Let's see, Trump not voted them, brother, the United States, and you're standing in your living room with a phone crying about Trump. Here we go again. See what I mean? They go do the pray thing, and then he just jumps back to some nonsense. And why are you reading comments from 4 hours ago? Yep, 4 hours ago. Because you have to address comments, and to address comments takes longer than just reading them. I'm glad I could be here to explain these things to you. Oh, and 4 hours ago, it's not like a Jew to exaggerate. This video isn't even an hour long, but it's 4 hours ago. Oh my God. Oh boy, he has a lot of hearsay information. I guarantee you this guy has never done any research on his own. Yup, that's what it is. There's not multiple videos anybody can go look at where I'm literally reading what we're supposed to know. I'm reading the information these dumb Jews put out for us to know. Whether it's Wikipedia or it's some other historical, account. And for those that go, oh, anybody can blah, blah, blah. No, I even showed you in a video the other day. My global web address, my global, what was it? Global, what the fuck is that called? The unique ID, what's the ID? Fuck. My global account is blocked, and I'm not able to edit anything on Wikipedia till 2027 or some shit. Nobody can just edit Wikipedia. There are things you can just edit, but like official pages, like the official history of, say, the Brooklyn Bridge or whatever, you can't. They can't allow that. That's going to be a resource that kids are going to use for their book reports. So not everybody can just go in there and adjust it. It's like when you're desperate, you'll say desperate, stupid things. I know, but I'm just trying to nip those in the bud, before you have time to say them. I saw your video about racism and prejudice, and I have a feeling that you value diversity. Yeah, I absolutely believe that anybody that was unfortunate enough to be born into a Jewish household, if they say, you know what, I don't support this supremacy, it's awful, and I think we're all here together, that person is a hero in my book. I've never met those people. Most Jews aren't willing to give up the opportunity and the advancement and shit that comes from being Jewish. So they don't go against the supremacy that I'm talking about. But anytime I happen to run in, if I do run into a Jew who's like, man, I was raised in that cult, but I escaped. That guy's the man to me. That woman's the man to me. Isn't that ironic? Even though they've done absolutely nothing to you, dude. Yep, they haven't affected you in any way. Who? The horrible Jews? Yeah, sure. Sorry, your girl lost. We got another dumb Trump supporter who it has to be a certain way for him to have an argument. Otherwise, he can't argue. Like it's like hanging out with kids, and they're like, okay, you be this guy, and you're like, well, can I do this? And no, you have to be this guy so I can be this guy. Oh, okay. I'm first generation immigrant. My family was legal immigrants. Sure they were. Yeah. We know how those Jews like to legally immigrate. I don't buy any of the bullshit. Palestinia. I mean, I'm with you, right? But I'm also like, it's not about free Palestine. I do have to say, you're not going to hear me talking about free Palestine. It's end Israel. End Israel, end Judaism is the true phrase. People say free Palestine because that's what we've been told we're allowed to say. But the truth is, it's about ending Israel because, it's not free Palestine anymore. That was yesterday. Now it's free Lebanon, free Iran, free Syria, free all of these other proxies that are getting fucking, that are getting attacked by Israel. Preemptive attacks. Preemptive strikes. Oh, well, we were just striking their ability to create missiles. They have hidden tunnels. Israel and its tunnels. Yeah, we're blowing up hospitals and schools again, but it's because there's tunnels underneath. Same old bullshit. Well, abortion isn't really a problem, but it should be less harmful to the babies. Abortion can't be less harmful to the babies, dude. That's crazy. We don't even kill animals like that. Yeah, we do. Fuck Israel. Israel's the worst. It's not cold enough for all these snowflakes. Oh, we've got somebody calling people snowflakes. The funniest thing about the snowflake comment is basically anytime somebody calls somebody else a snowflake, it's because somebody called you a snowflake and your dumbass got mad about it. And you thought, oh, wow, that really got me mad. So I'm going to start calling other people snowflakes now. Like, it's the stupidest fucking, ooh, ow, he called me a snowflake. Oh, it's so stupid. Like their ancestry means anything. Right. Jews don't have ancestry. It's all manufactured bullshit. Just like their fucking language. I hope you find peace instead of hate. By I must have, at that point, must have been bringing up Ben Yehuda because they don't like facts. And I am extremely proud of my hate. I am like this Jew trick that we're not allowed to hate things when Jews are the most hateful people in the world. They're literally committing genocide right now and they're going to condemn other people for hate. No, hate is a word that we've all agreed. It's a sound. Hate. That's a sound I make that in other languages they have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. But it's something that us English speakers have all agreed covers a wide range of emotions. I hate broccoli. I hate fucking pedophiles. I hate pedophiles. You're going to tell me I can't hate pedophiles? Am I allowed to hate pedophiles? Because I hate fucking pedophiles. I also hate control schemes. I hate the Jewish control schemes. I hate religion. All of it. Christianity, Islam, all of it. It's all fucking Jewish nonsense. But at least when it comes to the Christians and the Jews, at heart, they want the best for me, right? At the end of the day, the average Christian, the average Muslim, they want to save my soul and help me get to heaven and prevent me from going to hell. And, you know, they're actually, as weird as it is, they're trying to look out for you. The Jews want nothing to do with you. They hate you. They think you're scum. They think you're nothing different than you're just dumb goyim. Everything that isn't Jewish is goyim. And goyim is to be used by Jews to live their life however they want, to live the best life they can. Goyim is cats, dogs, tables, chairs. Everything is goyim. Goy. You hear them call us that all the time. You don't know what the fuck they're talking about, though. Oh, we have another Democrat insurrectionist. Yeah, because I'm dumb enough to go there. I'm too brown for that. Remember that play that they showed us, The Insurrection? That was all white people. For the first time ever, a group of white people just decide to attack a Capitol building while there's actual fucking government officials in it. And instead of the military being there and shooting the shit out of people, these guys hang out. One guy rubs shit on the walls, blah, 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 blah. And then they leave. And now the government is like, hey, we're looking for people. If you've seen, we're going to show you pictures. If you know this guy, please tell us so we can, like, what the fuck? If that would have been a bunch of brown people, that would have been a bunch of dead brown people. I don't want to grow up to be like, you know. That is not the definition, you two, of what? What are you talking about? Hello from Michigan. Hello, fellow Michigan person. Where in Michigan are you? You are right. I am right. Man, who voted for Trump is still listening to Diddy music. Like, if you the Diddy distraction, what a great... Everybody that, like, Diddy hashtag, Diddy this Diddy party, like this, all this Diddy shit is everywhere. And Diddy's getting in trouble for doing what Jews have been doing the entire time. The Jews that control the entertainment industry, that control Hollywood, have been making Diddy look like a Boy Scout for fucking decades. And nobody's talking about that. We're just talking about Diddy. It's just like with Kanye West. When Kanye came out and said what he said and distracted everyone while laying the foundation for the rules that you're not allowed to talk about the Jews, you're not allowed to threaten the Jews, you can't talk about the Jew conspiracy. And then Kyrie Irving is letting you know you can't even share a link. Never mind saying anything, just sharing a link. You're not allowed to do that either. And then Dave Chappelle is is it just happens to be the guest on Saturday Night Live, and he tells you all funny exactly how it is, where he starts off by reading a note saying, this is just comedy for all the Jewish people out there. I support you and everything you do, and I support Israel, and I suck balls. And then proceeds to say, in Hollywood, there are two words that you never say together and anything good comes. And that is the and Jews. Dave was getting all sorts of big laughs until he said, well, the one thing Jews can't do is blame black people for what happened to them. And the room just went dead silent. And then finally somebody went, yeah. And Dave went, oh, he gets it. And then everybody, ha. But the idea that Jews aren't allowed to blame black people, that wasn't cool. You can't say that, Dave. While you're worried about Diddy, Jews have been doing shit like you had Jimmy Iovine's. You have just, I don't even know these fucking Jews. I don't even know. There are guys that are just scattered. What Kanye said is that everyone in Hollywood has Jews in their background, whether it's in their contracts or whatever it is. Jews are there. And instead of Jews being smart enough to say, yeah, the Jewish people have worked really hard to create a platform for people of all races and religions and colors to be able to share their art in a lucrative setting for them. And that takes a lot of work. And we've taken a lot of pride in putting that together. And that's all they had to say. But instead, just like they always say, they say, hey, you can't say that. Don't you say that Jews are involved. You're not allowed to say that. While you guys are distracted by fucking Trump, while you guys are distracted by whatever, the Jews are committing genocide. And they're just gearing up to commit more and more genocide. You know what? It's the day after. Let's see what Israel has to say. Oh, I can't. This phone's dead. Too bad. Thank you. I know I'm right. Thank you. People need to understand this shit. And if I am wrong, then tell me. Somebody fucking tell me. This guy is acknowledging what I'm saying and telling me I'm right. Every word. Or this person, sorry. Where's the person to contradict it? Where's the person to tell, no, you're wrong about this, you're wrong about that. Chubby! Did you put the tea on? Oh, she's not here? Okay, I'll take care of it. Go sit down. This is, like I say, it's time for a revolution for real. It's about to get really fucking bad here. That Project 2025 shit is what Israel did for all of 2023. They did their own Project 2025. They called it the judicial reform. And they limited the power of they used the guise of limiting the power of the judiciary or the judicial branch to scrutinize the executive branch. And that's literally what they're talking about doing. They're trying to take the powers away. And with Israel, like the only time, literally the executive branch never disagreed with the judicial branch, other than the executive branch wanted to kill more Palestinians than the judicial branch said was cool. So that was the thing that was like the big argument. And apparently, the average Jewish citizen, the average Israeli, decided to protest every week, every Saturday. The Israelis protested the fact that the executive branch and the judicial branch weren't getting along. I wonder if we're going to do that too. I guarantee that doesn't happen. This is just nuts. What we're experiencing is nuts. It's terrifying. And the fact is, like I say, from what you've been told, some of you are hearing what I'm saying and you're like, oh, how can you say these things? But notice how there's no, comeback. You look at the comments that have been here. Nobody's saying anything that contradicts what I'm saying or puts me in my place in any sort of way. The only thing that keeps happening is stupid comments from stupid people who I guess need to be heard, but really have nothing important to say. Like this is the House, the Senate, and Trump. Ooh, free Palestine, bro. It's not free Palestine though. It's not. It's end Israel. It's end the Jewish control. See what the average voter is distracted by the differences in the the presentation that they're given. Well, this guy's presentation says this. Well, her presentation says that, and oh, they're differing. To me, it's always been, what do they agree on? And when you look at what they agree on, it's everything Israel, and that's what's really fucking scary. Trump is going to strengthen Israel like even more so, and the only reason Israel is as strong as it is now is because of Trump. So now that he has the pen again, it's going to be pretty bad, and he's already acknowledged as much. Like, it's crazy to me to think that so many of these idiots are like, Trump, America first, America, 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 and it's like, okay, hey, shouldn't we stop giving Israel $3.8 billion a year? Shouldn't we, stop sending American troops to go die? I mean, how, right now, and for a while, the two largest aircraft carriers we have are stationed over in Israel, in Israeli-Palestinian waters. How much money do you think those things cost to run every single day? Right? Like people just don't understand, and I don't understand. Why don't you guys care about that? Why is everybody so gung-ho to send more troops over to die for Jews to have more land and more power, more control? Like, why do they have that power over you? May Yeshua find you. Until then, you will not know peace. Your soul is afflicted. See, this is the crazy sort of arrogant Christian bullshit they have to say. He can't actually debunk anything I'm saying, so he has to do this prayer insult kind of thing. I'm sorry, but I refuse to acknowledge or worship a God that's okay with genocide. I know what the Bible says. I know what you guys don't know. And I'm definitely not going to worship a God that doesn't care how we treat each other, doesn't care how we treat the planet, doesn't care about who we are as a people, only cares that we keep cutting baby dicks. Like, I don't want to believe in that shit. That shit is insane. If that's your thing, you might have some issues. But the chances are you don't know it. You don't understand that that's what your Bible says. And that all that is Jewish stuff. That's a covenant between a Jew and God, and then the Jew marking as slaves. So as non-Jews continue to get circumcised, you're marking yourself as Jewish property. You just don't know it. Both of that. I am not American, but I get your frustration. I agree with you. I appreciate it. I would imagine there's lots of people out there that agree with me. They just don't know. They're not allowed to see my page. You would think there would be a hell of a lot more people on here if they could see it. Why is it so difficult to see my page? I literally had a friend show me that he said, look, I watch your videos every day, and he showed me pictures of my video with his comments on it. And I never see his comments. I never see any of that shit. It's always the same shit, guys. Yeah, bud.
Am I might be able to go
No.
to school today?
No, dude, it's too late now. If mom gets home, maybe. Okay, well then you know what you do? You take the rest of the day off and you feel 100%, so then tomorrow there's no issue. Yep, go sit down. But how can we change anything? Unification. Very, very simple. The more people we can get, I mean, I know this sounds like I'm sort of like, it's about me. It's not about me. If somebody else was saying the things like I'm saying them, then I would encourage you to watch them. But they would also have to be a halfie. That makes a huge difference. I don't think the person that can be the spokesperson can be a pure white, pure black, pure anything. It has to be somebody that experiences that understands what that is. And it can't be somebody that's stupid, that can't speak well. You have to have somebody that speaks well. And, you know, all we've ever been told is I could sit here and I could brag about somebody else all day long and nobody would have a problem with it. As soon as I start saying it's me, share me, then I'm some sort of braggadocious dick. No, I'm just confident. I just know that what I'm saying is right. And I know I've put the fucking research in. I've put the time in. If you look at my track record, clearly, if somebody could debunk me, they would. It's just that simple. Yo, bro, back again. There you go. Obviously, I've been doing this for a while, so what we can do is you have to have people understand that we can do this. The most important aspect of this is fixing the dysfunction. Until we fix the dysfunction, it doesn't matter what we're shown. If they control how we think, then what we think comes secondary. That's the key. We have to be able to talk to people. We have to be able to have open discussions where people come in here and they give it their best shot. And whatever arguments you can make towards the existence of God, go for it. I'm the one with all the risk. I'm the one that's live. You know, if you say something that I can't debunk or I can't handle or something that fucks with me, it's going to be obvious. And just like when I stuttered earlier, as soon as I screw up, people are going to jump all over it. If they could, they would. So by all means, like, let's have it. I want people to bring their very best efforts and see if we can't come up with some sort of, universal understanding. Are you happy with Trump winning? No, I'm not happy with either side winning. I mean, to me, the figurehead doesn't matter. It's the poison that's spread by the figurehead. And I know that the revolution necessary, it has to be this way now that I think about it. All of the stupid that supports Trump, he has to fail them before they're going to be willing to stand up and fight. Because at the end of the day, so many of these dumb trumpets, for some strange reason, think he has the best, our best intentions in mind. And so when they finally see that this last little shred of hope that they have, this last little thing that they fell for, is exactly that, just a trick, maybe that's the necessary key to trigger this. I'm hoping. I don't really know. All I know is the more we communicate, the closer we get to figuring things out. And the more I'm willing to put myself on the line and say, all right, like anybody, you get your scientists, you get your whoever to come in here, and especially your religious scholars, get them to come in here and let's try to figure it out. If they can make better points than I can make, then their thing is the way we go. But we have to hash it all out, and everybody involved has to be willing to be wrong. You have to be willing to be wrong about your God. You have to be willing to be wrong about your belief in the earth. You're willing, gravity and all of it. You have to be willing to be wrong. And that's the part where it's the controlling how you think. Because there's so many things that you don't even bother to question because how you think is already established. You know, you already know that you get sick because of germs. Germs make you sick. Better put on a coat. You don't want to catch a cold. Like, that's the dumbest thing ever. You're not going to catch a cold because you don't have a coat on. You might get cold, but you're not going to catch a cold. It's this understanding that they've been lying to us about everything. Like, once you understand that there's no religion, like all of it, come on, God, all that shit, like think about how ridiculous it is. And this comes from knowledge. I don't think most people understand how flimsy the story is, right? Like, most people think that the Bible is thousands of years old or some shit. They don't understand 1611 when King James had this book commissioned. But what they don't understand either is that, so prior to 1946, when just before the establishment of Israel, some Bedouins happened to discover the first of the Dead Sea Scrolls. You know, maybe it was 2 or 3 or whatever. And then suddenly the cave gets lost. Like when they tell you the cave was lost, and then you find out like where the cave actually is, you go, that they lost? Like, that's fucking stupid. It's right there. They saw it from their bedrooms. What do you mean they lost it? But when you understand that, you just think that during that time when they lost the cave system, that's when Israel is then creating more of the documents, the scrolls that end up getting found, and placing them in the other caves so that they could be found magically the year Israel is established, and so forth, and you know, and even some ones that were found as recently as 2018 or some shit. Like, just stupid. But when people talk, like you'll always hear people talk about the fact that Book of Enoch, right, shit like that, the Dead Sea Scrolls, people will say, well, you know, nobody talked about Jesus until, there's no written accounts of Jesus until 70 years after his death, right? And a lot of Christians don't really understand that, but that's sort of the standard argument now. But that argument is only based on the Dead Sea Scrolls that were found in 46 and later on. So prior to 1946, the earliest known written Christian documents are from around the 900s. Again, if you buy all this bullshit, but according to the narrative, it was from the 900s. So from 0 up until the 900s, no one wrote anything down about Christ or anything like that. It's a 900-year-long game of telephone, and you still think that story was accurate by the 900s. Oh, well, it proved when they found the Dead Sea Scrolls that what they found in 900 was more accurate. Yeah. Or they found what they were intending to find. Like it's this sort of stuff that people just don't understand. But then, again, you have to take into consideration the narrative that we're given. We're told that in 525, some guy in Italy named Dionysius somehow did some sort of calculation where he figured out that it wasn't the year that it was actually the year 525. And he wanted the dating system to be Christ-centered. So he dated it, he somehow figured out that they're in the year 525 because Christ was 525 years ago. And that they're, at the time, Western world didn't have a concept of zero. We didn't have the concept of the first concept of zero isn't until 620 something in, or 680 something, I don't remember, 6 something, in India, but it doesn't reach the Western world until the 1100s to the 1300s. So, according to Dionysus, it goes from year 1 to year -1. There is no year 0. Which, makes all the sense. But this guy Dionysus decides that it's 525. He takes it to the official date keepers of the world, I guess, somehow. And he convinces them that all of the information that they have so far that says the date is this, that's wrong, and it's now 525. And they go, yeah, you know what, you're right, dude, it's now 525. All of the history books get rewritten. Everything gets backdated. And all the stuff that comes before 525 is now calculated in by the minus. So some of the stuff is going to be like 432 BC. But just get to calculating, get to rewriting, make sure everything's accurate. And that's just how that happened. And again, they were able to do this without zero, without knowing what zero is. Because, you can do math, you can build shit, you can do all kinds of things without having a concept of zero. Where are all the big mouths who are telling me I'm wrong? Don't you guys know about this stuff? I can't understand what you're trying to say, but it sounds authentic. Look it up. Tell me I'm wrong. Look up Dionysus. Look up AD. Why is it 525? Or why is it AD? Why do we live in AD? Anno Dominium or something like that. Anno Dominium. Some Latin phrase that means in the year of the Lord. Congrats on the win. Y'all finally got your guy back. Literature that dates back to then. And it's still available in text. Meanwhile, I bet you can't find your kid's birth certificates. So, I love when people say shit like that. Like you have access to anything that supposedly exists. No, they found a woolly mammoth with grass still in its mouth, but it had been flash frozen, like a pole shift had happened. So yeah, they found it. And you're like, you say that with all this fucking gusto, like it's true. You have no idea. You have never seen a dinosaur bone. You've never seen one. You've seen fake dinosaur bones. You've never seen so much shit that you think is real and you just take it for granted. Like, oh no, that's the way it works. You just have no idea. And anything that talks about old school texts and all this other shit, like when they talk about they have texts from 1,000, 2,000 years ago. Yeah, right. They just survived. What were they written on? Magic stuff? Magic paper? Oh, they were written on parchment in priebus. Whatever it's whatever that shit's called. Pyribus? I can't remember. Like it's to me the whole concept of resets makes way more sense. When you just start doing a very basic history of like when you start thinking about the buildings that they say were built anytime before power tools, anytime like in the late 1800s, 1900s, they're building these huge ornate skyscrapers with all this detail and all this crazy, crazy shit. And you're like, yeah, that's real. Donkey Inc. built it with their horses and their horse shit and their fucking wooden wheels and their dirt roads and all, yeah, and there's no plumbing. Yep, they built all that shit. Makes all the sense. Walking around in their top hats. Dude, there are construction photos. I love when people say, I love when people say shit like that. Like they've been looking. Like I just happen to be talking about something they just looked into. And that, of course, photos can't be faked. It's really wild, man. As soon as I as soon as I sort of learned about Chat GPT, it was like the last piece of the puzzle. Everything finally made sense. How did so much of the history get written? Well, it wasn't necessarily written by a bunch of Jews sitting in rooms writing it out, spoiled Jews. No, it was spoiled Jews entering in the key phrases and key components to the narrative they want. And the Chat GPT program they had just spitting it out. And that's why you have so many of the same characters, so many of the same names used. But again, a lot of times you get these polymaths like Ben Franklin and shit. So many of those people existed back throughout history. They're like integral to the historical narrative. Our history can't exist without these people who, they decide to build the Erie Canal and they need to make this new kind of cement that works in water, and they just figure it out. They just do. These bankers, these guys who were bankers before that, and playwrights, and architects and engineers, like just crazy shit. This guy was a farmer and a cult leader, and now he's building bridges and shit, and he just builds the Brooklyn Bridge, just boom, 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 just builds it. Go look at the construction photos; they're believable. 99% of the construction photos have the two towers already built. But then you'll also find that random picture of the tower like an eighth built and the people standing all over it, because you got one picture and then you got the rest. Hello, person. Hey, Belle. Where am I from? Michigan. I come from Kunt. Where are you from? It's time where we're from so just doesn't matter. Civic pride, racial pride are the stupidest things. They just stupid tricks. Just like religious pride, another stupid trick. You shouldn't have pride in things you didn't do. Have pride in things you accomplished, not things that were forced on you that you barely know, like you're religious. Nonsense. You're from China. Nice. That's great to think that someone from China is checking it out. Are the people in China still protesting? Because we don't see that on the news anymore. Are the people in China and Hong Kong still protesting? Seems like they shut that shit down with COVID pretty hard. It's scary to think what the government did. It's crazy to think how many people don't know that that all the Trump bullshit, all the things he talks about, you never hear him talk about the World Military Games that were held in Wuhan, China. There is no protest anymore. Yeah, I'm sure they shut that shit down. Like asshole Americans purposefully probably forgot the people of Hong Kong protesting and then standing in circles holding hands, trying their best to sing the national anthem, the American national anthem, trying to get people to pay attention. How can people protest while tanks on streets? Yeah, we're not hearing about that, are we? That's some scary shit. That's what's going to happen here. And that's what's going to happen here, you know. It's like if Kamala wins, she was never going to win. she was never gonna win. It was always gonna be Trump. They would if for some reason the popular vote would have went with Kamala, they would have just fucking switched it anyway. You know, like they did the first time. I don't know what people are waiting for. You know, it's like the average Chinese person, they don't hate you, they don't hate me. They just want to live their lives like you want to live your life. The last thing they want is to be under control like they are. The last thing they want is to be blamed for any kind of bullshit. Didn't Trump win the elections? Yeah, he sure did. But it really didn't matter. Like, I don't know. It's like I think of like the Quintessons in the Transformers cartoon, right? And like, you know, the one face is the you know, the sort of peacetime face, and the other face is the wartime face. And Trump is the wartime face. So the government is signaling that they're going to go to war against the people. So they put the Trump face on. Kamala was the, you know, was the illusion that she was going to make, you know, life better for the people, whereas Trump is going to the people are just so stupid. The last thing we want is for our ability to escape to be completely closed off. I'm just it's I don't understand. I wish I didn't see what I saw or what I see. You know, I wish I could just be like everybody else and believe everything's going to be so much better now, and you know, Trump's going to make things good and make America great again, and I wish I could just believe that shit. But I don't even understand what people that believe that are seeing. They definitely don't seem to have the ability to talk about it. It's crazy. It's scary. What's happening? How come nobody talks about the fact that at his supposed shoot, where are all the videos? Where are all the cell phone videos and live feeds from the supposed shooting? Where are tens of thousands of people? Where are all those videos? It's crazy that nobody's talking about nobody's talking about it. It's crazy that the Trump shooting is just sort of gone by the wayside. Like nobody, that shit doesn't stand up to even the slightest bit of scrutiny. That they would let him stand up. They don't know that there's other shooters or not. They don't know if there's explosives. The people in the background, they should be running for all kinds of cover because they don't know what else is happening, what else is coming. And yet, you know, nobody talks about it. To me, that's one of the greatest, like, hoaxes, the greatest false flags they've ever pulled on us, and it was right there, right on TV. And then afterward, Trump, I'm only going to tell this story once, and I'm never going to talk about it again, because he's too stupid to remember the details, and he knows he'll get it wrong. That's their way of protecting themselves. And you have people like Mindy Robinson who make these amazing documentaries about the Las Vegas shooting, Route 91, and yet she's surprisingly quiet about the Trump shooting. Where's the Route 91 video about Trump? Why do these people that are like, why are people able to see through it until Trump steps in, and then they're just like, oh no, I believe everything this guy says. Of all people in the world, what is it about Trump that has people so snowed? I just cannot figure that shit out. It's easily the most frustrating aspect of all of this. Because I'm somebody who always tries to get some understanding. You know, I read a lot to try to understand. I can't understand this for anything other than racism. And I guess some false belief that Trump's going to make things better. But I can't understand why. Anyway, I'm trying, man. I'm trying to get people to tell me what I'm missing, I don't know, but I'm gonna bounce. So y'all have yourselves a wonderful day, and I mean, this is nuts. Pedophiles, kill yourself.